rodafleming in the Philippines here. I'll probably do another couple of these this afternoon, try and get them out. Anyway, I want to talk about self-medication. Now, self-medication is very much, a taboo certainly in the United Kingdom. I don't know so much about the United States. I think a lot of people in the United States are self-medicating. There's already a very strong black market, grey market in the hormones that are needed. Okay. If I look at the British situation at the moment, figures I saw last week suggest that the waiting list to get the first appointment, that's a first referred appointment with a specialist, a gender specialist, in the UK is between 2 and 4 years, average 3 years. Now, if you consider a boy young person, going to saying, I'm trans, I really need to get something done about this because I'm turning into a guy and I can't stand it. If he says that at the age of 13, he's going to be 16 before he even sees a specialist. So a lot of the arguments about what we do and when we do them are completely bogus. They're meaningless because the system fails the people up front. It doesn't give them the opportunity to access the hormonal treatment they need. And then you get the idiots online saying, oh, we should be giving. Well, you're not giving because you're making sure they don't get treatment when they need it. It's suppression by default. It's an appalling thing. So that means that in the United Kingdom, and I know enough people in the United Kingdom still to know that this is happening, is that you're going to have to self-medicate. You will not have any choice. If you want to begin your transition and you're 12 years old, right, or you're the parent of a person in that position, boys, we're talking about boys here, I think girls, something different, we'll talk about girls in another video, but boys, they absolutely need to arrest masculinization as soon as they possibly can by taking testosterone blockers. Simple as that. That's what they need to do so that they can actually live their lives as women. Now, that will mean in a situation where you're not going to get an appointment with a specialist who is capable of prescribing for 3 years, it will mean you have to self-medicate. You won't have any choice. I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's a terrible thing. I think it's a shocking indictment of Britain's National Health Service that it can be so bloody incompetent, And to be honest with you, ever since I first lived in France, I've had a very, very sceptical view of the British National Health Service. British people tend to think it's some sort of jewel in the crown. Me, I think it's a disaster. It's an absolute bloody disaster. It's been underfunded for not just years, but decades. And it's rife with the most appalling attitudes. Leaving that aside, for young people in this position, you are probably going to be left in a position where you don't have any choices. Well, one thing you can do, and I do suggest that you do this, whether you're the individual concerned or the parent or guardian thereof, is you look at all of the sites that you can that will inform you. I mean, I run one which is called allabouthsts.com. If we're talking about boys, this is boys we're talking about who are appearing at the age of 12 or 13 looking for transition therapy, then quite honestly, they're going to be HSTS. They're young sexual inverts. It's as simple as that. Autogynephiles just don't appear that early. And, there's a lot of studies done now to show that there is this very distinct age grouping between the sexual invert HSTS type who they come out between the age of 5 and 8, and the other type who appear between the age of, basically 15 to 18, sometimes a little bit older. These are different types, they're different categories. Now obviously the older group, it may well be pressing for them, but for the younger group, they're going to be, to start with, they're young. They're going to be very conflicted, and they need help to make a decision about what it is that they need to do. And basically what they need to do is to arrest the process of masculinization, which is what Blanchard recommends, just arrest it, stop it, so that, it gives you a couple of years breathing space. You can think about it, you can talk about it, you can read the literature, you can go to sites like allabouthsts.com, you can go to various sites which will explain what's going on. And you will probably have, because it's getting worse and worse in Britain now, you will probably have to find a source of hormones. Here in Southeast Asia, most of the girls we're talking about, they will start their hormones around about the age of 12, HSTS that is, 12 to 13, they'll start really just after puberty. And they're like, typical story, they see little black hairs appearing around their penis, they go, what's that? I need to stop this, And they take action, because here, it's not a problem. What happens is that contraceptives don't require, maybe they do officially, but they don't effectively require prescriptions, medical prescriptions from doctors for women here. And because, governments in Southeast Asia have been pushing this don't have baby thing, pharmacists just hand them out. So you, at the age of 12, maybe you can't go up in the pharmacy and buy yourself your strips of contraceptive pills, but your mum can. And if she's on your side, that's what she'll do. Or your big sister, or somebody like that. That's what they'll do. They'll go up and they'll, usually the mother actually, because young women don't buy contraceptives here because it makes people think they're having sex when they shouldn't be. But mum, yeah, she agrees with you if she thinks that, and that's very common here. If the mother is supportive, then she'll go up to the pharmacy, she'll get you your pills. Or you'll find that there's a kind of black market extant, within youth culture, where older baklas, that's ladyboys in the Philippines, they're sourcing the hormones and they're passing them on to younger people. Or there's an online grey market where you can just order online and they'll arrive at the door. It's totally simple. That's the kind of thing that you're going to have to investigate in Britain. You're going to have to look at this and say, right, if the state's systems are going to fail me, and it's quite clear that the state systems are failing, drastically, dreadfully failing young people, then you're going to have to do that. It's not advisable. I'm not advising it. I'm just saying you have to choose the lesser of two evils. And the lesser of two evils cannot be being forced to become a man when you're not one. That's just a ridiculous situation. So that's that one. I'm afraid that for many young transsexuals in Britain, self-medication is going to be the only way forward for them. And that's, this is 2020. That is absolutely outrageous. It's outrageous that should happen. Anyway, bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. See you later.